even freak out even more. So that whole scene is like the central part of this film. I cannot watch that scene without breaking up into just gales of laughter. I mean, the first time I saw it, I know I had tears coming out of my eyes, because it was just so hilarious. Now, some people might not find drug humor that hilarious, but I dare anyone to watch this film and not laugh, not to find something humorous about it. There's another scene where there is pretty much a drug party going on at a house, and Tommy Chong's character is kind of playing around with some Comet that has spilled on a paper plate. A young woman comes around him while he's playing around with this Comet, and she thinks it's cocaine. She snorts the Comet, and that is another very hilarious scene. Of course, we all know it would not be hilarious if somebody really snorted Comet, or cocaine either for that matter, but the whole scene is just so outrageous, and as I've said before, off the wall, that you cannot help but laugh. And the whole movie is that way. The whole movie is full of scenes like that. And then, of course, you have these cops led by Stacy Keach, who are trying to catch Cheech and Chong, and they never can. There is a scene where Cheech and Chong are driving a van that is made of marijuana, and as they are driving it, it starts breaking down the marijuana from the exhaust pipe and polluting the air with marijuana smoke. Stacy Keach and his partners become intoxicated on the pot smoke, and instead of following the guys, they end up getting the munchies and ordering pizza and a bunch of other stuff, and it's just crazy, but it's fun. So definitely pick up and Smoke if you don't have it, or any of the other Cheech and Chong movies. This is my personal favorite of those, though. Okay, the next film is Like Father, Like Son, with Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron. This is your typical Freaky Friday vice versa type film, where certain circumstances lead a father and a son to switch bodies. The brains essentially switch bodies, so that the son's mind is in the father's body and the father's brain is in the son's body. And you kind of see what would happen if that was a possibility, if it was possible for brains to switch bodies. And thank goodness it isn't, because I don't think it would be hilarious like it is in the film. I really don't. But the whole makeup of the film itself is comedic, and the filmmakers, of course, know what they're doing with this formula. This formula has been around a long time. The original Freaky Friday, starring Jodie Foster, really set the tone for these types of films, and has since been remade with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Of course, the remake's okay, but the original Freaky Friday was the one, I think, that started all of these brain-body switching films. Like Father, Like Son, like I said, it really gives you an insight on what would happen if a son was able to look like his father but still act like a kid. You know, and he's got all his credit cards, and he's got all these women coming around him, and it's just the insanity of the situation is what makes it work. And I think Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron did an excellent job of not only fulfilling the original roles, but also fulfilling the roles when the brains have supposed to have switched bodies. That, to me, would not be an easy task. And I think they pulled it off really, really well. And actually, I think they pulled it off better than Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage did, and vice versa. Although that was another very good film, I don't think the humor element was up to the level of Like Father Like Son. I think Like Father Like Son was up to the highest level it could get as far as comedy. And there wasn't a lot of melodramatic moments in it, which is another thing that you don't need when you're having a bad day. You don't need melodrama. You don't need drama of any kind, because you've had enough drama in your own life. So you need that comedy kind of full force, and you get that with Like Father Like Son. So again, let's just move on to the next one, which is National Lampoon's Vacation, the original. I remember watching this movie with my dad on television. And this was an edited version, of course. But at the time, I was a young kid. I didn't know any better. This movie came out in, I believe, in 1984. So for years I watched it on television and didn't really know that I was watching an edited down version of it. So when VCRs got popular and you were able to go out to your local video store and rent things, that was the first time I was able to actually see the rated R version of National Lampoon's Vacation. And actually being able to watch the rated R version, it was even more humorous than the edited version, if that's possible. Because and also because I was older, I was able to enjoy the more adult humor that was contained in the rated R version. And being a young child at the time that I watched the television version, I wouldn't have gotten a lot of this stuff. And I can't see any young child being able to. So it was probably best that I saw the edited version when I was a child. But for anyone that has seen the National Lampoons, any of the National Lampoons series of films, you know, they star Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo as a suburban couple who try to give their families the best vacation, the best holiday, you know, pretty much the best life that they can give to their children and to themselves. And something always goes wrong. No matter how hard Chevy Chase's character tries, he just keeps getting a wall put up every time he tries to do something. But it's a humorous wall. You know, what other movie can you see a guy getting to swim naked with Christy Brinkley? Not too many. And you know, what other movie could make death, if it's you know, you wouldn't think it would be possible, but death of a family member humorous. But they do it with this film. There's a lot of things that under normal circumstances you would not find humorous. You would find them heartbreaking. Death of a family member, death of an animal, a pet, financial trouble, even to the point of getting somewhere that you have been looking forward to and it's been a very long trip and the place being closed when you got there. This film even makes that humorous. So how could you possibly not like